Don't need an introduction for this one. It's Vance Honeycutt. Everybody watched him all weekend. Just an incredible super regional at Boshamer Stadium. Vance, thanks so much for being with us. What have the last 4 or 5 days of your life been like?
Yeah, thanks for having me first off. Man, this last few days have been awesome. We had a super regional freshman year, came out on the wrong side of it. So being able to come out on the right side this year was awesome. And, just kind of being able to see all the guys' reactions, faces, doing it for the program has been really cool.
All right, I don't know if people don't follow baseball super closely, but they're like jumping in right now. I think they're learning how stressful like postseason baseball can really be. Is it stressful for you guys, or are you just in it, and so you're not thinking about it, or do you feel any of that?
Not really. A lot of people were saying that, watching it is more stressful than playing in it. Obviously, like the crowd's great. We couldn't have done it without them. And, all those, the high pressure situations. But, whenever you're in the game, you're kind of just focused on, pitch by pitch, not as much, what exactly is going on around you. Just really trying to narrow your focus and, do those little things.
Adam, what Vance is saying is that we're the true heroes for watching the
right.
watching the game.
Obviously, couldn't have happened. Obviously, you're somebody you've got a long time appreciation for Carolina sports. Did you get any kind of moment this weekend where you're standing out there in center field or something, and you were able to look around and think, "Man, our team did this. Our team brought all these people here, and there's so many people that can't even get inside. They're all up there on the field hockey stadium and outside the fence." Yeah,
before Game 2 of the Super. Everyone was outside of the stadium and, lined up in right field, like even at the bullpen. I really haven't seen that before. So that was really cool. And then after we won, you kind of was looking around, looking up, taking it all in. That was special too.
What has this run been like for the team, and how does it keep happening the way that it has been happening?
There's been a lot of dramatics. So, I think that's just kind of how this team has been. We're never really out of the fight. We're not really focused on the score, the scoreboard, those things like that. We're really just focused on, pitch by pitch. And, we feel like if we can take, that mindset throughout the game, eventually, just keep working, just keep going at it, and, some good things are going to happen. So we're really not focused on, just kind of like the outside things, just really trying to take it pitch by pitch. And, this team's been great. So I think, us having fun allows us to be able to do that a lot more.
So just in talking to some guys throughout the year, and even when Coach Forbes was in here right at the beginning of the season, it seems like that's been kind of a theme of like in the moment, pitch by pitch. I mean, that kind of feeling. How have you gotten everybody to embrace that? And because I think it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to be able to do it even in difficult situations.
Yeah. From day one, Coach Forbes has really, preached the process to us. And what he means by that is we're not really focused on outcomes. We're really just focused on what it takes, in the game to be successful, what it takes off the field, day in, day out, those types of things. So we really bought into that. And, we kind of just take it away from the outcome of the game and really focus on what we can do each day to be successful. And I think that's helped us.
Your first 2 years, the Tar Heels have been good, obviously, but not Omaha good. Mm-hmm. What's the difference in this year's team taking that next step to go into where you've wanted to go ever since you got here on day one?
Yeah. I think like our togetherness, we were really, really close both years, prior to this, but, this has a different feel to it, just the unity, everyone's pulling for each other, we're just a true team. And then also I think, the talent, there's a lot of depth. And, that can go one of two ways. If the guys aren't pulling in the right direction, then you can probably create some division there, but that hasn't been the case this year. And, we've had really good leadership too. And I think that, that definitely carries us a long way. And, each year I feel like you're wanting that, but, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. So, guys like Knapp and Vanderbrake and, the older guys, they have really just bought into it, dove into it, and just really helped us out.
We rarely have somebody in here from a winning Carolina team who says, the guys are a bunch of jerks, honestly. As soon as I get out of there, I'm so happy to leave.
So glad to be away from practice.
Does the chemistry create the wins, or do the wins create the chemistry?
It's Probably a little bit of both. But I think in order to first win, you have to be together. You have to have that team chemistry. But, if you are winning, a lot of guys really can't say anything, regardless of who's in the lineup, who's not, whatever it may be. So they might go hand in hand, but, initially I think the chemistry creates the wins.
All right, we're going to get to, in just a second, we're going to get to a couple of, we had to pare it down. There were so many great plays from Vance this past weekend. But before we get to that, any Omaha expectations, like anything that you're excited about doing, seeing, being a part of, other than obviously just playing the games out there?
Yeah, we've heard a lot about how cool an experience it is to be out there. Just the different things that you can do while you're out there, but it's a foreign land to me. So, I'm not, I feel like a lot of guys have been talking about it, but we also don't have, crazy expectations for it because, none of us have ever been out there.
Look, Adam and I, when we were calling the games, Tar Heels win 5 times in 6 years. So if you need road maps of Omaha,
okay.
I think we can be better than a GPS at this point of the place.
That was also almost 20 years ago. We had to use a
why
horse
did
and
you say
buggy
that?
to get around,
Why'd you
so
say that?
it might be a little different. No matter what, Tar Heels are playing on Sunday, which is Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is it going to be to do that with your dad there who played on a Carolina College World Series team? Have you given any thought to that at all?
I did not know Sunday was Father's Day.
I will be going to get a card after this interview.
I knew it was coming up. Sorry, Dad. Sure, he'll be watching at some point. Did not know that, but no, that'll be cool. He played there, and I'll be playing there too. So just a little moment we can share.
Okay, let's check out some of the plays. So if you're just listening on audio, you just have to close your eyes and visualize it with us. You probably saw all these plays, but we'll be, if you're watching on video, then let's take a look. So this is the walk-off, Vance. Just take us through what's going through your mind, what's happening at this point in time, and we'll run it.
Yeah, I was just trying to honestly get Casey Cook up to the plate, and I figured if that could happen, we would have a pretty good shot of winning the game. Just trying to move down the lineup, but, I got a fastball and in a 3-1 count, and I was, fortunate to put a good swing on it.
Okay, did I make this up, or do you give it when you hit it, you kind of go, oh, did you notice how hard you hit this ball right when you hit it? Because it was a bomb.
Yes, right, obviously I wasn't trying to hit one there, but if you hit one like that, it feels like nothing, and you can kind of feel it. I don't know.
Was there any moment where you thought that might hook foul?
No. I definitely thought that there could have been a chance that it could have had just a little bit of left turn to it, but I think I hit it far enough right that it didn't have a shot.
When it got to 3-1, did your approach change?
A little bit. I was 3-0, and I took a big swing, just was cheating to a fastball, and I noticed that my head was moving all over the place, so just try to slow it down, simplify it, and just honestly hit a line drive back out the middle. And the ball was just a little bit more in, so I put a good swing on it. Yeah, it was.
By the way, I respect just kind of dropping the bat. We've seen some bat spikes, we've seen some bat flips. It was just more of a casual drop of the bat. I appreciated that.
Yeah, that just happened. Coach Fox said something to me too. He was making sure that it wasn't a flip, and I was like, no, I just kind of happened. So I even
Fox
said sorry.
Teaching the boys all these years after retiring.
Also, Vance, did you go get that ball back? Because those cost $6, so we're going to need to use that for practice.
All right, so that was the walk-off homer. Now let's go to the next day. Now, Vance, I was at this second game. I think I had just sat. I'm not even sure I'd sat down yet when this happened. So this is quite literally because Carolina in the dumb rule is the visiting team. So the first pitch of the game, incredible. What's going on?
The report on the pitcher was that, he liked his fastball. He had a pretty good one. But, he liked to use it, especially in, 0-0 counts, hitters counts, all those things. First pitch of the game, I was just trying to get a good pitch to hit. And I got one and fortunate to put a good swing on it.
Yeah. So when do you know? Do you know right when you hit this one? Because this was more of a line drive.
I didn't even know B-Rye even held his hand out to give me a handshake, and I didn't even know then.
Really?
No, I didn't.
And by the way, Ryan Schmidt, what camera work right here. We get this running with Vance down the third base line.
Does Ryan run into you?
He might.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
So did you notice the camera right there, or was that to the teammates?
It was to the team.
Okay, all right. So I do think, so again, if you're watching with us, I think Ryan might run into Vance here in a second. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
You didn't even feel it.
I didn't. I didn't know that happened.
Feeling too good right there.
Yeah.
Have you ever hit a home run on 2 straight pitches before?
I don't believe so.
I mean, that's why. I mean, come on now.
There's no way that's ever happened.
No, that's storybook stuff. Walk off on one night and then very first pitch of the next game. That's crazy.
Well, how often would you be the home team one night
Right,
and
yeah.
then the visitor the
Yeah,
next
that's true,
day?
too.
Yeah,
Unless you're following dumb NCAA rules,
That's
that
true.
would never occur.
Okay, let's go. This is the next at bat. Yeah, it's the next at bat. So you've hit home runs on back-to-back pitches, and then you elect to do this in your next at bat. Was this a call? Was this you decided to do this?
It wasn't a call. I think in that moment there were 2 outs,
Yes.
and I was the third hitter that inning. And I remember my dad telling me earlier this season, because I had a very similar situation, and I had a quick AB, and the next thing I knew, we were back on defense. He was like, think about it. If, the first 2 guys in front of you get out pretty quick, just think about it. Think about driving a bunt down. Just trying to extend the inning. And that was all I was trying to do. With the shift on 2, I realized if I could just place it a little bit out there, you'd have a shot to get on and then move the lineup down for Casey and Parks.
So, Adam, I don't know if you know this, but part of the reason why Vance is an attractive player at the next level is that he can hit a ball the way that he did and then drop down a bunt and beat it out, which you beat it pretty easily. It's really impressive.
That honestly was kind of mean. Like, that was just messing with him. Like, all right, you're going to back up to the track. I'm going to drop the ball down and get on first base. Then you have to deal with me at first, which is a problem.
Yeah, and Vance eventually scores a couple of batters later, and that ended up being the winning run in the game for Carolina.
Did you tell your dad that you thought about what he told you when?
Yeah, that'll make him happy. That's a Father's Day gift
Day.
right there.
Yeah, right there.
There it
You just
is.
did your Father's
There it
Day
is. If
show.
you're watching, Dad, there it is.
Okay, so we've talked about, we've shown a lot of offense. Let's see a little bit of defense as well. And by the way, I assume you've seen this with
cool.
Shea
This was
on
cool.
doing the interview at the same time. All right, so take us through defensively what's going on through your mind. We'll roll this.
Yeah, he hit it pretty well. I wasn't expecting the runner to be as far as he was, but I could kind of see him out of the corner of my eye, and just saw him a little bit too far off, and just obviously thought, like, who knows if I'm going to get him, but obviously just try to make something happen.
How quickly do you have to make that choice? Like, I mean, you're trying to obviously see the ball to catch it. You're trying to keep your eye on where the runner is. How quickly does that choice get made?
I think I was planning on it before the ball was in my glove. Like I said, I saw him out of the corner of my eye a little bit too far, but I wasn't sure if he had made that initial turn back to first base. So as soon as I caught it, I already kind of made the decision in my head.
Sad first base coach and all-time
Yeah,
classic
he
right
was
there.
a little bummed out.
Yeah.
And we don't even have the play. We're not even going to show the play where Vance made a great catch. 8th inning, I think. Leadoff guy in the 8th, who I think for most normal center fielders, that's probably a double for the other team. And instead, Carolina makes a great play, or Vance made a great play to help Carolina there too. All right, I think we have the final out as well, just the final play of – this is just you on the final play, I think, Vance. So let's see. Yeah, as you watch it unfold. Yeah. Just drifting over to back up if he needs to.
Yeah, I was aiming down, making sure. I was trying to get a better look at it.
That was a tight play.
It was.
So
It was a great play by Pence to get there, and Parks too.
just elation, I'm guessing,
Yeah,
right here.
yeah, that was joy, like no other.
I'm guessing you've been imagining that for years and years. Not before you ever got here, you thought about what would it be like to get a win like that to go to Omaha.
Yeah, I have, and that was special. And what a group to do it with.
Okay, anybody get hurt here on the dog pile? I'm always worried somebody's going to get hurt in a dog pile.
Apparently, Pence couldn't breathe at the bottom. I think he was on his back. But I'm not sure. Casey and I were talking about it. We're going to regret this for the rest of our life because we really didn't launch ourselves onto the dog pile. He was at my feet, sitting on the ground, and I was just kind of folded over. I agree with him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's definitely there's some squishiness down there at the bottom for sure.
Yeah.
Little concerning to have pitchers on the bottom because they're not always the most athletic. You never know. I like DeCara's down there.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
It helps to be like 12 years old, and he's probably nimble.
that's true too. No, it definitely helps being out in the outfield or pretty far away from it, so you can just be like one of the last guys and try to jump on top. I didn't do it, but I think that's like the goal.
So obviously there is Omaha is at the forefront of your mind. I understand that, but then there's professional baseball coming up soon as well. How have you tried to compartmentalize those things? Because I know there's another very big goal coming up soon, but how have you tried to keep that out of your mind, if you have tried to keep that out of your mind?
Yeah, I have a lot of really good role models, people that I've talked to like before the year even started, and just really told me to just be in the moment, like soak all of it in and just have a lot of fun. So that was kind of how I went about this whole year. Obviously it's up and down at times. So like, things will pop into your head here and there, but, did some work with a sports psychologist. She really helped me a ton, and, just tried to, understand that like a lot of kids want to be in this spot, have the opportunity to, play here, but also have an opportunity to play at the next level too. So really not trying to deny anything, but just, taking it in, just letting it be in the back of your mind, not the forefront, and just taking it day by day.
Several players that we've had in here have talked about the sports psychology side of things. How do you think that makes you a more complete player, but also a more complete person?
Yeah. I think baseball is 90% mental, at least. And I think before this year, my mental side of the game, they weren't up to par with my physical side. Going through tough stretches or whatever it is, just kind of getting up and down, rather than just staying even keel and, attacking each day the same, whether you went 4 for 4 or 0 for 4. So, this year I feel like, she taught me so much to where no matter whether it was a bad day or a really good day, come the next day, just how you showed up the last one.
We've talked before, you're somebody who knows what it's like to grow up idolizing Tar Heel athletes in whatever sport. How has that affected the way you've handled all this, as now there's little kids showing up with Vance Honeycutt shirts and calling your name during BP and all sorts of stuff? How has that affected the way that you want to manage that and be part of that?
Yeah, it's full circle for sure, because I was one of those kids. No, but I think that's part of being a college athlete. Taking the time to sign autographs or say hey to them, take a picture with them, that makes a kid's day just doing that, and that takes 2 seconds. So it's sometimes, you feel like you have to rush to do something. Well, it's 2 seconds ahead of your day to make their day. So that's kind of how I look at it.
All right, before we let you go, just what in your mind is important? And this is what people don't get to, like, wins-wise, Carolina's about halfway to the ultimate goal. Like, this is such a long event. What in your mind is important to try to continue to have the level of success you guys have had as you move on to Omaha?
Yeah, we've hung our hat all year on pitching and defense. I think that continues. Hitting comes and goes. It's hard. But, timely hitting is important. I feel like that was in the regional and super regional, that was kind of where we were. I felt like we were probably trying a little bit too hard in the box, throughout the entire game. And we were talking about that today. Just control what you can control into plate. And, if we can do that, our chances are probably pretty good. So, but other than that, just hang our hat on pitching and defense and just relax in the box and be ourselves.